Do you know who your child is supposed to be when they grow up? Hi, my name is Mary. Welcome to Love Notes by Mary, where we talk about what it means to chase after God's heart in all things love, relationship, and romance. Whether you're single, you're dating, you're married, you're parenting, and even beyond. Do you know who your child is supposed to be when they grow up? We like to ask kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? But let me turn the question on us as parents especially. Do you know what your child is supposed to be? Who they're supposed to be when they grow up? And you may be looking at me wondering, and now you probably know how your kid feels when they ask that question. But what I'm driving at is the fact that many of us navigate parenthood with a certain level of not knowing that we don't need to suffer through, where we are hoping and praying and just wishing and doing our very best, hoping that it will work out for our kids in the long run. But we can't confidently say, my child is on the right path. We are not able to confidently and securely make decisions for them, and as they grow older, help them make decisions that are sure to lead them in the right direction, because we don't know what the right direction is. And so we often tend to fall back on what is the education system saying, what does it look like, what's the job sector saying, what's the economy saying, what is so and so saying, what's family saying. We go to every other place other than the one place that we are sure to get a response that will put us at eternal peace, and that is God. Before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. Those are the words that God spoke to Jeremiah when he was inducting him into his prophetic call. And that's a reality not only for us, but even for our children. Before they are formed in the womb, God already knows them. Now, God cannot know someone who doesn't exist. We exist in God before we are made manifest on earth. And that means long before you do that pregnancy test and you get a confirmation that you're expecting, God already knows who your child is ahead of time, ahead of space. He already knows who He's predestined that child to become, right down to the very number of the days they will be on the face of the earth. He already has all these details worked out. And if you stop and think about the magnitude of what that means, you'll realize that we go through so much unnecessary turmoil as parents when we get stuck in our ignorance, when we get stuck in our not knowing, and we start running around second guessing everything, and yet we don't need to. God has already mapped all of these things out. He's already factored in what the world is going to look like 10, 20 years from now. He's factored in occurrences and changes and trends and systems that we don't even know are coming. And so when we fall back on who our children are in the eyes of God, then we are able to lead them and guide them with confidence, knowing that regardless of which turn the world takes, they are securely on the right path. Yes, we are called to train our children in the way they should go so that they don't depart from it as they get older. But the question is, parents, do we know what the right path is to begin with? If you don't, you can know. I'm here to tell you that the wisdom is available to you. I'm here to tell you that you don't have to second guess your way through parenting. You don't have to wish and hope and doubt and fear and be anxious and go through the whole range of emotions that come with parenting from a place of not knowing. God is an available resource, and I've seen it for myself. God said to speak to me about my children even before I met my husband. It happens today. It still happens today. It happened in the Bible. For those of us who want to know, is this even scriptural or are you just telling us stories? It's all over the Bible. Open your Bible and you're going to find stories of women that God spoke to ahead of time and who He told of the destinies of their children. And the reality is, these are not just fictional stories that we read. They are markers to what we have access to as believers. I've walked in it. it. I know people who are walking in it, and you can too. The only thing you need to do is make a sincere pursuit of the Lord as a parent on behalf of your children, where you go to the Lord and you ask him, hey, you've entrusted me with this child, you've entrusted me with these children. Help me know how to raise them. Give me direction, give me guidance, show me what you've called them to, show me what kind of schools they need to go to, show me the kind of extracurricular activities they need to be involved in, show me what their personality is and how I mold them without breaking them, where I'm not trying to fashion them into a mini me, but I'm actually allowing them to flourish and be confident in the person you've made them to be. And I can tell you for sure that the Lord is a rewarder of they that diligently seek him, and I can say that because I have lived it. I am living it continually as a parent. Do you know what your child's destiny is? If you don't, the Lord is waiting for you to invite him into that conversation, and he will absolutely blow your mind. Thanks for joining me on today's episode. I'll see you on the next one.